to SAFEBETS. This is the outside version here in the woods. Wasn't able to make it home, so I'm going to give it to you guys live, like I do. Coming off a recap of last week, with 6-8-2, which wasn't a good week, you know. But if you've been following me, you'll still know that we're still ahead of the game versus wins versus losses. So we're not going to complain on that. Let's jump right into it. Christmas Day, we have the Vikings at the New Orleans Saints Superdome. Saints -7. I like the Saints in this one. Drew Brees in that dome. There's something about that dome. I refuse to buck the dome because voodoo. I refuse to buck the voodoo dome. So I'm going to ride with the Saints in that one. And besides, it's crunch time these last 2 weeks, so everybody's going to be fighting hard, especially try to get that home field advantage. I know the Saints should be. And they're fighting Tampa Bay versus that division title as well. Next game, we got Tampa at Detroit in another dome. You got Tampa Bay -9.5. I like Tom Brady in the -9.5, even though they struggled last week versus the Atlanta Falcons. I think this game they come out and make a statement game and let everybody know that, hey, we're still in this. And besides that, they're fighting for the playoff spot, in which Detroit is basically just playing just to be playing, you know. I mean, they might try to play spoiler, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to be able to match Tom Brady and Todd Bowles' defense. So we're going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -9.5. The next game, we got San Francisco and Arizona. Arizona -5. San Francisco did what I said they was going to do last week with a backup quarterback, and now they're turning to Josh Rosen. So I'm definitely going to take Arizona at the house and at -5, because I know Arizona is fighting hard to get that one of those playoff spots in that wild card. It's going to be crunch time for these last 2 weeks, so teams that are going to show some fight, I think they're going to come on with it. And I think Arizona -5.5 at the house will be good. Next game, we have Miami at Vegas. You got Vegas +3 at the house. And last week, I know I booked Miami, thinking Belichick was going to put together a game plan, which he didn't. But it's all good. I think Miami keeps the ball rolling because they're, like I say, they're fighting for that playoff spot. And in these last 2 weeks, you're going to see teams. This is going to turn the boys from the men. What you've been doing all year long. And I think Miami's going to come out strong and beat Vegas by at least 4 points. So the next, we got Denver at the Chargers. You got the Chargers we got Denver at the Chargers. You got the Chargers -3 at home. I like what the Chargers are doing. Seems like Hebert is coming along well, and they're fighting just, you know, to go in the next season and come out strong again. So we're going to ride with the Chargers and then -3 versus Denver. Next game, we have the Browns versus the Jets. The Jets +9.5. Jets came out and put it on a stellar show last week. I thought they were going to fight for the last place in the league and try to secure the #1 pick next year, but it wasn't the case. They came out and showed that they had heart, and they put it on the Rams. So you have the Browns -9.5 at the Jets. I like what the Browns are doing here. I think they finally found their rhythm and their groove. And besides that, they're fighting for that wild card, trying to get in their playoffs. They're trying to get in their playoff job, so they're going to fight that extra hard. And I think this is going to be a good game, but the Browns ultimately prevail. So we're going to take that Browns versus that -9.5. Next game, we got Cincy at Houston. Houston -8. Cincy came out and put on a good show versus Pittsburgh. You know, surprised a lot of people. Hey, it even surprised me. Houston, they fought versus Cincy last week and fumbled on the last play of the game. So who knows? But I like Houston at the house. I think J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson get the job done, and that -8 should be good as well. The next one, we got Indy at Pittsburgh. You got Pittsburgh +1.5. I'm going to have to ride with the good ball because Pittsburgh has they've been trending downwards these past 3 weeks. I mean, 3 losses in a row. I know everybody been saying that, hey, it's just a phase. But I was looking at that game up to Cincinnati. Hey, if you don't establish the run game, they're going to shut the pass game down. So ultimately, I think Indiana's defense is a little bit better than Cincy, and I think Indiana rolls with this one. So we're going to take Indy -1.5. The next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons versus the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the Chiefs minus 10.5. I like the Chiefs minus 10.5 at the house. Like I say, I think it's crunch time, but the Chiefs already secured the #1 spot, but they're going to reassure everything is okay. Albeit they sit their starters, which I don't think Andy Reid is going to do. I think he's going to keep everybody fresh and in tune, getting ready for another run at the Super Bowl. So I'm going to take the Chiefs minus 10.5 with that one. Next game, we got the Bears at Jacksonville. You got Jacksonville plus 7.5. Gardner Minshew and Jacksonville, they just not getting it done. And I think ultimately they might just lay it down and try to fight for that #1 pick with the Jets. So we're going to take the Bears plus 7.5. And besides that, Trubisky's starting to come on, and that Bears defense is really starting to put on. So I'm going to take the Bears and plus 7.5 in that game. Next game, we got the Panthers and the Redskins versus the Redskins. You got the Redskins minus 2.5. Redskins put on a little fight versus Seattle, but they didn't get the job done. Panthers did as well, besides a couple of mistakes. They kept it close with Green Bay, I thought. With that being said, we're going to ride with the old Bridgewater and at plus 2.5. I think the Panthers come on stronger and finish the season strong. I ultimately think the Redskins possibly could be fighting for a playoff spot, but I don't think they have enough to match the Carolina Panthers, even though I like the Redskins front seven. But ultimately, I don't believe that they can score enough points if Panthers start scoring, jump out to a big lead first. So we're going to ride with the Panthers plus 2.5. Next game, we got the Giants versus the Ravens. You got the Ravens minus 10. I like Baltimore in this one. The Giants just don't even look the same when Daniel Jones got hurt. So it looks like they're a completely different team. Besides that, Cleveland manhandled them last Monday night, or Sunday night, I'm sorry. And the Ravens look like they're starting to form in jail back to the old Ravens of last year. So we're going to take that Baltimore minus 10 with that. Then you got Rams versus the Seahawks. Seahawks minus 1.5 at the house. This is a divisional game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. If the Seahawks win, they're going to take sole possession of the NFC West. And the Rams, I don't think they're going to let it go or go that easy. But I like the Seahawks at home. I think they grind it out and get a tough victory right here in this one and claim the NFC West champions once again. Next game, we got Philly at Dallas. You got Dallas plus 2 at the house. Dallas playing last couple of weeks. They playing coming on strong. I've noticed these past 2 games, and I've called it versus Cincy and San Francisco last week. They did their thing, and Philly is flip-flopping quarterback, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's going to mess up their rhythm and their tempo versus the Cowboys, because if you steady quarterback switching, the team can't get a feel, because they already had a feel for one quarterback, then they was feeling another one. So I've heard they're going to throw back Wentz in the mix. So with that being said, we're going to take the Dallas Cowboys at home with that plus 2. Then we got the late night game, the Sunday game, which is the Titans at the Green Bay Packers. You got Green Bay minus 3. I'm going to have to ride with Green Bay at the house. Minus 3, even though Green Bay can't stop the run. But I don't think that the Titans can match points for points if Green Bay jump out to a big lead. I just don't see it. Even though I like the Titans and I think they're starting to gel a little bit, but I like the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau at minus 3. And the last game of Week 16 will be the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. You got the Patriots plus 7. I'm sorry. You got the Patriots plus 7 at home. Patriots, man, they're out of there. I think the Bills keep rolling, albeit they don't rest their starters. I think they roll over New England in this one and just keep the trend going. But these last 2 weeks, it's going to be some good hard-fought football. So y'all stay in tune to Safe Bets. This is your boy D, and I'm out.